So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to first of all define what a hook actually is. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the science behind it. We're going to hit a few golf shots, take a look at a few numbers, and last but not least, we're going to finish up with some suggestions on how to maybe fix the hook if it's a shot you're seeing a lot on the golf course. So what is a hook? Well, let's talk about a right-handed golfer. If you're a right-handed golfer, a hook is a golf ball that starts relatively straight, but pretty quickly moves sharp and to the left. Now also that ball flight will probably be a little bit lower than normal. So the trajectory, the height of the golf ball, typically on a hook is one that's a little bit lower. But if you're a right-handed golfer, it is definitely working to the left of where you intend the golf ball to go. Now for my left-handed golfers out there, and I know there are some out there, for my left-handed golfers, the direction of course would be the opposite. So if you're a left-handed golfer, a hook would be a shot that works hard to the right and once again would be relatively lower in terms of height or trajectory than you might on a normal shot. So once again, quick review there. Hook is a golf ball for a right-handed golfer that works to the left sharply. For a left-handed golfer would be just the opposite. So let's talk a little bit about why is a golf ball actually doing that. So I've got my system set up here. I'm going to hit a couple shots and we're going to look at some numbers. Now I'm going to do my best to try to hook a golf ball here, and I've been known to hit a few hooks in my time, so this might not be more difficult than I'm making it, but let's see what we get here. See if we can hit one. All right, now that definitely has some hook, and we're going to take a little bit of look here at the numbers. You can see the golf ball flying there and definitely working strong and to the left and certainly a little bit lower than normal. So here's what we want to talk about. There are two main factors that dictate the curve of the golf ball. And in this particular talk today, we're talking about what is a hook in golf. So what we're going to be looking at is the club path and the club face. So we've got a club path in this particular example in this particular shot where the club is traveling roughly 8 to almost 9 degrees to the right of the intended target. The club face is 4.2 degrees left of the target. So think in terms of a math equation. We've got one that's roughly 8 to the right. We've got one that's 4 to the left. That disparity is pretty big. That's about a 12 degrees, okay, in golf terms, of disparity, of difference. When we see that, we're going to see a lot of hook. Now the reason the golf ball is hooking and not slicing, because I know a lot of you out there slice a golf ball, but today we're talking about what is a hook in golf. So when the ball is hooking, the reason it is because the club face is well left of the path. All right, so I know right now your brain might be thinking, holy smokes, what is he talking about? Let's walk through it again real quick. All right, the path, the direction the club is traveling is to the right 8. The club face is left, so the club face is pointed left of the direction the club is swinging by upwards of 12 degrees. When we have that, we're going to see a lot of hook in the golf ball. And also on a side note, that trajectory of the ball was definitely lower than I would normally see. So hopefully that kind of makes a little bit of sense in terms of why the golf ball is hooking. So what could we do to maybe fix that a little bit? What are some things in my golf swing? Well, the first place, we know this, that the club face is pointed left of where we're swinging it. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you, this is going to seem pretty obvious, but is just to make sure at address, when you're set up over the golf ball, that your club face is nice and square to your target line, that it's not closed. Believe it or not, a lot of golfers who hook the golf ball simply have their club face at address in a closed position, and they might not even be aware of it. So here's my suggestion. Anytime you grab the golf club, bring it up here at eye level and kind of look and see where that leading edge is at, and make sure it's nice and straight up and down as you place your hands on the golf club, and then go ahead and bring it down in front of you. And that will help you, give you a good chance of making sure that the club face is nice and square at address. The other suggestion that I'm going to give you is to take a look at your grip. A lot of golfers who hook the ball, all right, which is what we're talking about today, have a grip that's very strong. So for a right-handed golfer, that would be a lead hand that's turned well to the right. For the right hand, it'd be turned also well under. And anytime the grip is strong, not all the time, but many times it's going to promote a club face, once again, that is closed at closed at impact. So that's what's happening when we're hooking the golf ball. So let's recap here again real quick. So first of all, what is a hook in golf? A hook is a shot that works sharply to the left for a right-handed golfer. For a left-handed golfer, it works sharply to the right. Typically, the height of the trajectory is a little bit lower. What's the science behind that? What is actually causing the golf ball to hook? It's in a situation where the club face is pointed well left of the direction the club is traveling for a right-handed golfer, and of course for a left-handed golfer, it would be the reverse. Where are two areas that I should look? Well, first of all, the most obvious, just make sure to address that your club face is nice and square. You can do that by bringing it up in front, taking a quick look at it. And number two is to take a quick look at your grip. Make sure that it's not too strong. You maybe want to move it back into a little bit more of a neutral position.